American Telephone and Telegraph used to be the Standard & Poor's 500 stock that generated so much cash it couldn't pay out dividends fast enough. But it has now been dethroned. Pioneer Natural Resources. Altria and Verizon Communications are now the highest-yielding Standard & Poor's 500 stocks that also generate a massive pile of annual cash flow of $5 billion or more. Finding companies with the cash flow engines to drive big dividends is one way investors are finding income even as the economy faces a potential slowdown. Free cash flow is a measure of the cash a company has at its disposal after paying operating and capital costs. American Telephone and Telegraph used to be in a class of its own when it comes to the combination of high free cash flow and sky-high dividends. It yields a generous 6.3, backed up by its $13.6 billion in free cash flow. But now it has competition. And that was especially clear following the telecom company's first quarter earnings report. American Telephone and Telegraph on April 20 reported first quarter revenue and free cash flow that missed Wall Street targets. American Telephone and Telegraph stock plunged as wireless subscriber growth slowed down as expected. 10 companies in the Standard & Poor's 500 that generated more than $5 billion in free cash flow the past 12 months now pay more than 4% annual dividends. Those dividends rival American Telephone and Telegraph and surpass the Standard & Poor's 500's 1.5% yield. If you're looking for a cash flow monster that pays out even more than American Telephone and Telegraph, Pioneer Natural is now at the top of the list. The Irving, Texas-based oil and gas exploration and production company generated a staggering $7.4 billion in cash flow in the past 12 months. And that backs up the company's American Telephone and Telegraph beating dividend of 12.2%. Tobacco seller Altria is another example. The company pulled in more than $8 billion in free cash flow in the past 12 months. And that helped it afford a lofty 8.2% dividend yield. American Telephone and Telegraph isn't the only game in town for investors looking for big cash-powered yields.